Now, as we promised you, well, football royalty is the way we go forward on this Saturday afternoon, and joined by a man whom I think it's safe to say is very much a part of South African football royalty. That, of course, is SuperSport United coach Gavin Hunt. Gav, thank you so much for your time. And firstly, well, I think it's safe to say for the entire footballing fraternity, our thoughts and prayers very much with your family during what has been a difficult time.
Yeah, thanks for having me, and thanks for those kind words. Yeah, it's difficult times, but it comes to us all, you know, sometime. But yeah, it's been a tough couple of weeks, but hey, we get through it day by day, you know.
Yes, we do. We certainly do. Now, let's just talk football for the time being, and the season that has been. And there still is one more game to go, but with the one game to go and still your ambitions for the season, how would you sum it up to this point?
Well, I mean, from a personal point of view, obviously I'm never happy finishing where we're going to finish, 4th, 5th, 6th or something. Yeah. But, you know, if you understand and watch football and see what the team has done this year, it's been like an evolution, totally, you know, 360 from the team that we had. And a lot of players have come in and a lot of players left us, and it's been pretty much building a team as we're going along. And for me personally, I don't think it's not a bad season, you know. We haven't won anything, we haven't been in contention. We've had some good victories along the way, and we can still finish well on Saturday. Yeah, but certainly for me, you know, producing all these kids, not me producing them, but giving them a chance. We had, I mean, I'll be a liar, I think it's 12 or 13 under 20s, you know, make their debuts in the Premier League, which is a hell of a lot. And it's taken a big risk. And we've taken, you know, it's come and bite us a second round, that's for sure. But, you know, I believe in the youth, and that's our motto at the club, and that's what we do at our club. Yeah. You know, we got to do the financial constraints. We obviously got to try and do the best we can, and a lot of these kids will move on to bigger and better things, that's for sure.
If memory serves me right, in your first stint at SuperSport, when you came in, the likes of Mashego were leaving, Teko was leaving, and you had to build going forward. Saying this is the same now, some big players have left coming into the season. Talk to us about the challenges.
I mean, I think the first reason why I left in the SuperSport in the first place, because the team was pretty much being gutted. Yeah. We were cutting, selling the players, and you're never going to achieve what we achieved. We won the league 3 times in a row. By the 4th season, the team was really decimated, if I want to call it, and we were trying to replace them with kids and players who were sort of coming to the end of their careers. So it was very difficult for me. And obviously, you know, that was one of the reasons why we left. You know, I went to a different project, which was Bidvest Wits, which was obviously they wanted to win the league. And that's, you know, obviously suited me, you know. Yeah. And we won it, you know, after 3-4 years, yeah.
Now, there's always going to be the talk of the crosstown rivals. In the past, you've had some memorable encounters with your crosstown rivals, that being the current champions, Mamelodi Sundowns. How far are we from seeing the rest of the chasing pack, that's yourselves included, from catching up with Sundowns? Is there a realistic picture to maybe think next season?
No chance. I don't think in your lifetime, I don't think in my lifetime that we can ever, I don't think Chiefs or Pirates or anybody can win the league again. Not to their power, not to their financial clout. They certainly fishing in a different market. They're buying players from Europe. They'll be buying players from the top clubs in Europe because of the financial clout that they have. So I don't think in your lifetime, my lifetime, I don't think you can challenge again. I don't think so.
And again, looking at the entire makeup this season of the DStv Premiership, a lot of young players being used by you and various other clubs as well that have come through and been quite impressive, I think it's safe to say. How would you sum up the competition in the DStv Premiership with all the different teams?
I think the competition is great. I mean, on any given day, you can still beat a Sundowns, you know. But I do think the financial strain on club owners and clubs these days is huge, and I don't think there's many people that, besides Patrice Motsepe, that can actually sustain the professionalism, to get better players, to have bigger squads, these type of things. And there's a lot of clubs, even Chiefs and Pirates, I don't think can pay the transfer fees that have been paid. And that's where the problem is, you know, and obviously the wages and those type of things. So clubs like ourselves, we say, right, let's go another route. Sure. We'll go this youth development route, and we'll go, you know, we'll try and build teams, and obviously to try and keep us afloat, obviously players will move for us to refinance the club.
Now, when you do go the route you have chosen, how then difficult is it to plan for next season, the upcoming season, knowing you might lose some talented youngsters that you maybe could use in 2-3 years' time?
You know, if we had kept our 3 players from last year that were certainly key to us, if we kept them and built on a few of them got this year, I think we certainly we would have certainly been in the top 3, definitely, I think. There's no doubt about it. But we lost them. And financially, we had to, put the money back and get it 1 or 2 year. Not buying, but trying to use it on wages and things like that. So clubs run on tight budgets, and the financial, as I say, the strains on a club now, the travel costs and just the stadium hire.
Yes.
I mean, stadium hire is ridiculous.
Yeah.
And these type of things. So we're a club, and there's a lot of clubs, believe me, are certainly worse off than us, in terms of, budgets and things like that. So everybody's watching it. There's only maybe 1 or 2 clubs who don't have to watch the budgets.
Now, with all of these challenges that you two mentioned, I have to ask you about your ambitions going into next season. I mean, traditionally, you've always been one to like playing a lot of football, one to like being involved in the CAF competitions. Is this something you still aspire towards, even with the challenges?
Yeah, look, I mean, if you look at our CAF competition this year, we couldn't do it by playing home games in Polokwane and playing CAF. And we had 3 North African teams. So we would come back from Libya on a Monday and have to go to Polokwane to play on a Wednesday. So it was crazy for us. So we had to use the squad. And believe you me, it was great opportunity for players. Players got a chance to play. A lot of them showcased themselves, to me. And then I thought, well, now we can put them in the league. So these type of things. So it was a great opportunity. I love to be in Africa. But obviously, we got to do Africa the hard way.
Yes.
Economy flights.
Yeah.
There's no charters.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll give you an example. I was at Chiefs. And we played a team in Guinea. I was at Wits the year before. And we played Orua in Guinea. It took us 28 hours to get there, right? I went to Chiefs the next year. It took us 8 hours.
Yeah, big difference.
Why? We went to the charter.
Yes.
So, I mean, if you can do... So Sundowns, who have got the luxury to go charter, they'll go charter. So if you can go in Africa and in and out, it's otherwise, you've got to go via Dubai, and then you go 9 hours, 4-hour stopover, 10-hour flight to Guinea, and then back all the way around again, So.
Yeah, makes sense. Now, we have to ask you, and I have to ask, we wonder all the time, when does the planning for the new season start? Is it something that's continuously in motion as you're working for this year, you're already thinking about next season, or is there a stop-start to your planning?
So I'm pretty much thinking about next year already. We haven't started the season coming up.
Sure.
So I'm already on 2026.
Yeah.
So we'll look at a player at 16, 17. Can we give him his debut now? Can he... What is his progress? And we're looking at when he'll sort of be peaking, sort of 19, 20, or not peaking, but coming into, he should have had enough games by then. So we are generally working 8 to 10 months ahead of us all the time.
Yeah. So next year, still looking to stay in Africa? Still looking to compete?
Well, Saturday will determine if we can come top 4.
Yeah.
If we win, and obviously we need a few teams to help us. But if we can win on Saturday, which will be a big top, they're obviously fighting for a Champions League spot.
Sure,
as well.
everybody else.
We've really stuffed it up. We should have been well clear in there already. But we still got a chance. You never know. We never know with these things.
I have to ask you your thoughts on the year 2024 as SuperSport United. Just the year 2024 post
not
AFCON. Your thoughts on it? And
I just think it caught up to us. The travelling with such a small squad, such a young squad. When you've got more experienced players, you can get away with it. They can get. But when you're travelling like we done and playing in Polokwane and coming back and going in Africa, I mean, this year we went to Libya. You ever go to Libya?
No.
Nice place.
Yeah?
Yeah, just go there with bulletproof vest.
Okay.
I mean, the place is shot up. So you got kids who are going there, their eyes are going, So, and all the travelling, I think, just caught up with us. And to be fair, there was a lot of games where we really were good and we didn't, you missed chances and, and then you end up with a lot of draws. So those of you that turned into wins, I mean, with a lot of games we were up and we conceded right at the end. So it's one of those things.
I remember once hearing you say something along the lines, who you can really rely on through the CAF competitions, from your squad and from your players and your young players. Yeah. Do you have that feeling with this kind of squad?
Yeah,
from your experience.
It's like any team in the world. You say, I don't know if I can trust him.
Sure.
And then you put them in and then they prove you wrong. There's a lot of time. Or you say, you do trust him and then he proves you the other way. You say, well, he hasn't really done it for you. So I think if you look at world football, the higher the level you go, it's a lot about your attitude and your courage and to be wanting to, your ability, obviously, you need to have the ability to play at the top level, but your attitude, your courage and things like that comes a big into play for me,
Now, the name Hunt, of course, has been around South African football for a long time now, thanks to you and all you've done over the years. But it seems there's an addition as a new family member. Your daughter's also making moves in the football spaces.
Well, I've got twin daughters. They're both in football.
Yeah.
And they're on the CAF. The one has done the CAF. They're doing the CAF C license. They've done those already. The one was involved in the Bale that won the tournament last year. She was the set piece coach. She did all that. She's a physiotherapist by trade, but she's very involved in football, UWC in Cape Town, down there, you know.
Yeah.
And then the other one's up here. She's with the BSI Academy, which is Zaka Marks.
Yeah.
And they love football. I mean, when they talk football, they make a lot of sense. Sometimes.
Sure.
When you drive home in the car and then they talk to you about the game and you go, well, that was right. So they know football. They've been brought up with it. Obviously, their brother-in-laws and the other side of the family, and it's just been football their whole lives, you know.
Yeah, that's nice to know and interesting to hear. Now, a lot of former players, especially these days, are looking to get in coaches. We see them in the DDC spaces and so on. Your September, whom you worked with, is doing very well down in the Eastern Cape, Chipper. Your thoughts and advice to young coaches coming into the game? It's a cruel world. It's not an easy industry to get into, but your advice to any young coaches coming in?
Well, I think in football, not everybody can be a coach. And I think that's where the problem comes. Everybody's they think because now they go do a few licenses, they can become a coach. I think, but there's enough opportunities in the game for them to be involved in the game, be it at clubs, and that's why I think clubs should be a little bit more streetwise and use people who've got a little bit of football background in managerial positions, in marketing positions, in whatever positions, because not everybody can be the coach, you know what I'm saying? So, and I do think a lot of these young ex-players don't want to earn their stripes. So they all want to start at the top, where you need to start at the bottom, like I did. I mean, I coached when I was still playing, and I coached under 10s, and I coached under 16s, under 18s, and then I went to the provincial teams, and then I sort of found my way, and I had 4 years in the Masepi First Division. So you earn your stripes, you know what I'm saying? So I think a lot of ex-players just want to sit on the bench at Kaizer Chiefs. You can't do it's impossible, you know, because there's a lot involved.
Gav, fortunately we are out of time, and we'd like to thank you for your time. You've done a lot for South African football as a player, as a coach, and we're looking to many more years of Gavin Hunt doing all the right things in his contribution to South African football.
No, thanks, Israel. Thanks for having me here. Thanks very much.